Check, baby, check. 1, 2. Good morning. Oh, good morning, everybody. Be with you in just a moment here. A little behind on the social media. Cartoon of the day. Imagine you're married to a guy and instead of going to work every day, he's out throwing baloney at cars. Yep. That's the life of a retard. That image on the screen here. I don't know where Pedro is yet there, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully he'll be with us soon. let's get this show on the road. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great show we call DYOR Live. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. January 14th, 2026, BTC finally giving us some relief. Finally coming up to that area that Pedro and I have been talking about for a long time, in the 95 area. Pushing its way to a hundo. I think it peaked at 97,000 earlier. I'm traveling right now, as I don't have all my great graphics up. But we will. Maybe I do have them up. Not on the screen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank God for BTC finally bringing some profits in, everybody, liquidating the bears. Bears get hit for $800 million in liquidations. Drop in the bucket. Remember, there's 64 to 100 billion traded every day in Bitcoin. Speaking of Bitcoin, Sailor hits back against the doubters. The doubters are saying this Bitcoin treasury stuff is for the birds. There's a big push in the banking industry right now to discredit Bitcoin treasuries and not allow anyone to make money outside of the banking system. And as a result, the banks get their way, and their lobby has successfully lobbied the Senate to change the language in the upcoming bill, saying no stablecoin yields at all, not just by the stablecoin providers, but by anyone. Before, it was going to be allowed that Tom Company would be allowed to take stablecoins and pay interest, and now you can't. Now you can. The bill isn't passed yet; it's not over yet, but it's coming. It's coming once the Senate gets its way with the banking lobbyists. As we all know, it's really tough for the banks out there. It's tough. The JP Morgan just cleared $25 billion in profits this quarter. $25 billion in 3 months. They're just starving to death, ladies and gentlemen. They're starving to death. My lighting sucks in here right now, making me look like some crazy 70s hair. Anyway, that's a show we got for you today. I'm not sure if Pedro is going to be with us here today. Anyway, so that means I'm relying on you guys, everybody out there watching us on Rumble, YouTube, Kick, Twitch, and X. Give us a share. Share the link to this in your trading group. Share it in your Reddit folder that you have Karma in. Share it with your mom. Share it with your friends. Whatever. As long as we have a bunch of viewers that are real, not bots like some of our other shows in this crypto category. There's another show in our crypto category here on Rumble in which all of a sudden they're getting 50,000 views at 7 a.m. and no engagement. No chat, no nothing, zero. They're botted up. We don't do that. We don't do that because we want to talk to you guys. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We actually want to talk to you. I know. Sometimes we don't really want to chat with you. Anyway, let's get to talking about Bitcoin here. Where are my Bitcoin maps? Oh man, this chart on this computer is way out of date. Way out of date. Way out of date. Let's bring the charts back up here. I got the old Pax Gold up there. Let's refresh that for Bitcoin. BTC 97,000. 97,000. Like my long trade from earlier. Doing quite well. And let it run. As I say in the description here, ladies and gentlemen, is this a new movement up? Are we on our way back up? Are we back, as they say? Or is this just a bull flag and it's going to trap you? Or not bull flag, a bull trap. And trap you as before we head back down to 74,000 or so. Pedro and I have been talking about the level of 74,000 for a while. We still think it's on its way there. Obviously, we've been wrong in the past, but hopefully not this time. Let's see. Let's get... which chart is this? Not the right chart. Come on, man. All right, my computer's running a little slow here. I'm trying to do everything on one little laptop here. Can't even search. Okay, let's try Control K. Oh, that's wrong search. Oh, this is annoying. Sorry, everybody. I wasn't prepared for Pedro not to be here today. All right. What do we got here? That's a 5-minute chart. That's not what we want. I got an old Fibonacci left over here. How about that? All right, everybody. Let's change the music here. I know I put this stuff out separate. Well, I'm just not with it here today, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me a second here. Very strange. Very strange. All right. BTC. Turn Pedro off there since he's not today. Bitcoin here. What have Pedro and I been talking about for a while here? What have we been talking about? The return to glory. That's what we've been talking about. The return to glory. Let me go to the chart myself here. Peter is insanely unhappy. All right, this chart goes back here to November. You can see that we were pushing 124, 125, 126, got our highs. Immediately, Pedro and I were suspect that that was going to keep going. Pedro was calling once again for a high at the end of the year of 180 to 200,000. However, he said it had to get through 74,000 first. And the market immediately started to sell off following that. And you can see the downward trend here. Came all the way down to basically 79,000 or so. We hit the $80,000 level for sure in almost every market. And then we did this long period of consolidation. And after a long period of consolidation, after a move down, moving averages come together, and what happens? A movement happens, and we didn't know which way it was going to go. Pedro and I did talk about it a number of times. Heading towards 95,000, and that it was going to come back up to our 100,000 level because there's, according to the charts, there's lots of liquidity there, lots of orders, as Pedro would say. And we had a lot of fake outs. This is the daily chart, but if you look at the, let's look at the, back to the 4-hour chart. You can see how choppy the market was in December. All of these just pump ups. Hey, we're going up towards the 200 period moving average on the 4. We get close to it, we get rejected, sent back down. And the market makers just kept doing that to us over and over again, over and over again, over and over. Grabbing more liquidity, yada, yada, yada. We said at some point it had to break. And it did. It did on the, towards the end of January here. The end of January, beginning of January here. Specifically on the 1st. It was much like other years where on the 1st, the market just kind of turns around. It did. It finally started going up, broke through the 200 period moving average on the 4-hour, which, frankly, is a continuation of the SAM price special, where the price action comes up above the 200 period moving average for the time period you're looking at. And then the 8 period moves up, and then the 21 period moves up above it. And when you see the price action meet the 21, that's kind of a time to get in. This one kind of retraced a little bit here, as you can see that, back down to the 200 period moving average, used it as support before just starting off. If you want a deep down, analysis of why this happens, obviously wait for Pedro to come back or go see Crypto Lifer's show, because he does that every day in detail. But the general concept is that the market is on a local trend up, which is a good thing. It's a good thing. I've got a trade on that I've been long since 92,000. I'm up a couple $1,000 actually. Very happy with that. Not sure if my comment machine is working here. Let's try and force it to work. There's Ka-ching. DeFi dude in the house. Sorry, you guys, I didn't address you earlier. My comment machine is not auto magic today. Hey, Ka-ching. Welcome to more craziness from Minnesota. I got a good one for you, Ka-ching. I got a good one for you. Yeah, this. Imagine you're married to a guy, and instead of going to work out every day, he's out throwing baloney at cars. I warehouse this one just for you, Ka-ching. Honey, gonna go out and support the family today? Yes, I'm gonna go to the store and buy some bologna, and then I'm gonna throw it at law enforcement officers. I gotta tell you, the education system in Minnesota has failed. Or wherever these people are from. They're not all from Minnesota. They drive in, as we all know. Hey, Dara, all coming to us from Madrid. Or Barcelona? I forget where the hell you are. Is anyone out throwing bologna at cars? Cold cuts? Their morning meats that they eat and say, screw it, I'm going to protest the police and I'm going to go throw it at cars. No, they're not, are they? They're not. Nope. I don't know why this thing is not auto-refreshing, driving me nuts. Savannah Hogan. I don't know that name there, Ka-ching. Ka-ching says, ICE arrived in the town where I live in yesterday. I hope you greeted him with flags and say, thank you. Thank you, and point out, like, the landscaping crew lives over there. Oh, that's awful, Tom. Guy's just trying to earn a living. Yeah, so I don't know who Savannah Hogan is. I can see that in 24 hours we have 74 billion in Bitcoin volume, which is good. Good volume coming up. I like it when it gets up there. When it stagnates around 60 billion, not much goes on in the market, and when it starts moving up above 60 billion in volume, this is the CoinGecko aggregated volume. It's like I'm tickling some cojones there. The CoinGecko volume. When the volume gets up above 60 billion, it means the market is moving more than average. There's above average liquidity, and something good is going to happen, or something bad, whichever, doesn't matter which way the market moves. We make money either way, as long as that's not moving against you. Back to the charts. I think we're going to be pushing 98,000 here. Hold on, I gotta check my trade. Checking the monies. Oh, where is it? There it is. Up $2,500. How about that? How about that? But it was predictable. Why was it predictable? Why was it predictable? Because it hadn't done shit in a long time. That's why. Let's go back to a much smaller time frame chart here and look at. Look at what's going on there. Let's just take a quick look at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin's obviously moving and grooving. There's nothing I can tell you to do. I can't tell you to take a trade or not, because that's not what we do here. We don't tell you what to do. You do it with what yourself. Anyway, like I was talking about the moving averages here. You can see the moving averages got really tight over the past couple of days, and that means something's going to happen. And something did right here on the 21st. I'm sorry, the 11th, Sunday the 11th, broke out, started getting a little bit more volume. You can see the volume came up down here after a couple of days of doldrum volume. And generally, when that happens, it means there's something afoot. And then this is the 15-minute chart. The 15-minute chart did the old come above the 200-period moving average, and then it just boomed above it. The moving averages can only travel together so long before something has to break. Otherwise, they would just be together the whole time. But anyway, you can see right here, it did this big boom up yesterday here. And then it formed, one of those perfect, it got too far away from the 21-period moving average for this 15-minute chart. And when that happens, it has to consolidate. If it doesn't dump, that's a good thing, because that means it has to consolidate for a number of periods. And when it does that, if you run the Fibonacci's, it goes back and forth to 786s until it comes down to a little point. It just does its math, and then it breaks out. And it did right about here. And that was fairly predictable. So it's looking at least, a 98,000 run here. The measured move, as they'd say. And hopefully we'll watch that. And I'm going to, when it gets a little closer to that, I'm going to close off much of my trade, take the monies, head to Ibiza. Let me check on poor Pedro. I wonder if he's sleeping again. All right. Let's talk to the fans for a little bit here. I know you just want to hear me talk to you and placate you and tell you how great you are and all that type of stuff, right? New meme token, baloney bomb. Baloney in you. DeFi dude. Interfering with lizards is not that shocking these days. It's good to have you guys here. Right now, I am in. I'm glad that you asked, because nobody did. I am in Toronto. And in about an hour, we'll be leaving for Ottawa. I haven't been in Ottawa, I guess since New Year's or so. I went to Chicago to see the old, see the kids, as they say. And both of them were there. Both of them were there, which is not usual. Ooh, that's not usual. Nope, that's not usual either. Anyway, I was there, and both kids were in Chicago. Had a great time with them, as usual. And then I got sick. Then I got the flu, and that was that. And then I laid on the couch for a week, and I'm still recovering from it. Not that I'm contagious or have the flu or anything, but after a week of laying on a couch just with 102 fever, it takes it out of your body. Following the holiday seasons, this is the good news. This is good news, everybody. As you hear me talk about the length of the holiday season, when I start in Canada, it starts in October with the British-style Thanksgiving in October 12th or so. That's a long holiday period from October 12th to New Year's. And Mrs. Striking was like, honey, you apparently have some love handles. And I was like, no, I don't. Everything's great. Then I stepped on the scale, and I was like, ooh, we should follow me around with an AED because I am certainly not healthy. Guess what happens when you have the flu for a week? Yeah, you don't eat. So suddenly I'm back to normal weight. Just like that. Boop. 3 months of drinking and overeating. Gone. The flu. Taken care of. Taking care of business. Oh, Pedro is alive. All right, Pedro's alive, but I don't think he'll be with us here today. I think he's busy with work. Anyway, but from my perspective, the market's moving. Hope all of you are in. I'm not going to tell you what prices to get in. I will look at the market and see where it's going to retrace back to. But first, let's look at some of the news things that I had to talk about here today. In the world of politics, the banks got their way. They said our whole industry could die, except for this one little phrase that allowed people like me or companies like you to pay interest on stablecoin deposits. Now the Senate has listened to all the banking regulators and said, oh no, or banking lobbyists said, oh, we can't have that. Only the banks can pay interest. And as we all know, the banks don't pay interest. So we're going to see the stablecoin staking and yielding yield systems just move overseas. just like that, billions, perhaps even trillions of dollars will move overseas, out of the jurisdiction of the United States because of that. Anyway, where's that article? Here it is. Banks win key battle as crypto bill bars stablecoin interest payments. It's not passed yet, just in a draft. The updated crypto market structure bill will prohibit digital asset providers from paying interest solely for holding payment stablecoins, while preserving exceptions for transaction-based rewards. The banking industry lobbied for the provision, citing Treasury report warning of potential deposit flight from traditional banks. 3 Democratic senators have demanded a public hearing before Thursday's markup, saying members will have less than 48 hours to review the text. Banks secured a major win over stablecoin yield as Senate lawmakers released an updated crypto market structure legislation Tuesday morning, which prohibits digital asset service providers from paying any form of interest or yield solely for holding payment stablecoins. Those fuckers. We do all this to get around the banking system, and they pull us right back in. The language directly addresses months of intensive lobbying from community banks that warned stablecoin yield could drain deposits from the traditional banking system. All you gotta do is pay a higher yield. That's all you gotta do. But apparently $25 billion in profits is just something they just don't want to share with shareholders or depositors. They could. Imagine if they paid the JP Morgan, said, all right, the $25 billion, we're just gonna pay out in dividends or in interest. Instead, no. Stablecoins were originally seen as an alternative to traditional banking, but this draft proposal curbs the passive yield feature, stripping them of their competitive edge, said Kaden Stadelman, the chief technology officer at Komodo. Last week, the American Bankers Association community sent a letter warning lawmakers that without stronger legislative clarity, up to $6.6 trillion in deposits could be at risk. And we all know that that's bullshit. That's just such bullshit. The prohibition shall not apply to respect to any activity-based reward, meaning that you can still be part of Visa and MasterCard's reward systems. You'll be able to earn rewards and loyalty programs and blah, 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 blah. Governance validation, governance staking. Ecosystem participation. Oh, that's all fine, but well, this is an interesting part, though. The bill also requires the SEC and CFTC to jointly establish disclosure rules, mandating that any compensation offered by a digital asset intermediary be presented in plain English, with clear identification as who is paying the rewards and explicit statements that a payment stablecoin is neither investment, product, nor deposit and not insured. I can tell you for sure that this bill is not going to be as we like. Why would you save in blockchain-wrapped fiat anyway? Just for spending. The DeFi, the only reason that I can think of is because companies will pay outsized stable coin yields. I mean, people will pay 10%, will pay 20% in various, we'll call them not in perpetuity, but in ways to get people to move money to their platform. They'll put marketing money into it. They'll do all sorts of things to raise the yield to get people to put their money over with them so that they can take that money and invest it in property in Ibiza. I'm sure over in Europe you're not getting any decent interest payments from banks. I'm sure that's not happening. Maybe 1%. Yep, hold on one second, everybody. Sorry there, I thought Mrs. Striking was at the door. She is not. All right, let's take a quick social media break here. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everyone. Please like, share, comment, chat, repost. Just do it. I know the excitement today is palpable, you guys, right? Where did the... All right, I lost the... All right, I lost the... Nope. We broke. See if this works. There, right. That got it. Anyway, let's see if there's enough viewers to run an ad here. All right, welcome everybody that's joining us here. We have a pretty good crowd here today. Thank you to everyone that's watching us on Rumble and X, the two biggest platforms. For people that are watching us today, we'll note that YouTube is once again pulling a fast one here on us. Anyway, we're going to... let's look for an ad to read here today. Let's see if there's any new exciting ones. The Life Water hydrogen bottle? No. When they say read it exactly, I have no interest in doing that. Oh, here's one. A minimum viewership is 750. Okay. Happen. We'll just do a good old-fashioned 1775 coffee. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Offer does not match billable earnings. All right, gotta redo it. I know all you guys are just thrilled to be watching this. To get more exciting. Let's try this again. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Have you still not tried 1775 coffee? Well, now it's your shot. 1775 starter kit has dropped. They only made 1,000 units of this special kit that they advertise here in Rumble, and they're selling fast. And you know why? Because our viewers are buying them. They're letting me know that it's delicious. Anyway, in this package of coffee, you get a couple of things here. You get the bold dark roast that hits hard. You get their smooth medium roast. And you get the Vitality Mushroom Coffee for clean energy and laser focus. No crash. Nope. All single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also getting the gold spoon clip because freedom isn't scooped with plastic. Getting a frother strong enough to stir up your mother-in-law's political opinions along with your coffee. You're also getting a black 1775 tumbler. $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for 99 bucks. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up right here on this channel, wondering, is it actually worth it? Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something just like DYOR does here. Ladies and gentlemen, right next to me here, there's a QR code. Put your eyeballs on the hold your camera up and put your eyeballs on our advertisers. We certainly appreciate it. Helps Pedro and I out a lot. The more the people view, at least if you just go ahead and do it, and they understand that our audience is not botted up like some of the other channels in the crypto and finance and crypto category here on Rumble. If you're watching on your cell phone, there's a link in the chat that says learn more. And if you're watching on the replay, thank you very much. In the description, there's a link. 1775 Coffee. So thank you to 1775coffee.com for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. Only you. I just don't like doing this show on my laptop because I got to do everything on one laptop and it's not powerful enough. And I'd like to have all my stuff. I like to have my sound effects. I like to have my pricing module. I like to have everything. I like for it to work smoothly. But that also means my computer's got to run well at home. I'm going to be getting a new computer, finally. Bitcoin still trading above 97,000, 97,2003, 75.75 billion in volume, pushing that $2 trillion market cap again. Getting real close, ladies and gentlemen, real close. All right, let's find the other. Michael Saylor slams interviewer for questioning Bitcoin treasury model, ignorant and offensive. Saylor, as we all know, owns 650,000 Bitcoin. Slammed the podcast host who asked whether having a cash flow business model was necessary for a treasury to survive. Criticizing the slumping Bitcoin treasury space, well, Michael Saylor wants to have a word. On January 12th, what Bitcoin Did podcast, Strategy's founder and creator of digital asset service trade, went berserk when the interviewer, Danny Knowles, asked him whether the market can handle the more than 200 treasuries that are currently tagging themselves as treasuries, and if their model of issuing debt to buy Bitcoin is actually sustainable. Who are you to say that they are issuing debt to buy Bitcoin? Replied Saylor. That's just ignorant and offensive statement on your part. Wait, let me get that right. Who are you to say that they are just issuing debt to buy Bitcoin? Saylor's outburst comes at a troubling time for treasuries. Nearly 40% of the top 100 Bitcoin treasuries are trading at a discount, the key metric that permits them to raise more capital and fund their Bitcoin buys. And more than 60% have bought Bitcoin at higher prices than today. Some have even had their stock prices tank by 99%. Oh, that's just what you call a rug pull. They just rug pulled you in a different way. Saylor's company's business model is pretty much issuing debt to buy Bitcoin. According to Strategy's own filings, over the first 9 months of 2025, the company generated $125 million in operating cash flow, almost entirely from its legacy business intelligence software. During that same period, however, the firm raised more than $50 billion through equity, preferred stock, and convertibles, and spent nearly all of it buying Bitcoin. It means that over 99% of the capital behind Strategy's treasury came from issuing securities, not from operations. Software business is cash flow positive, but at its current scale, it is economically irrelevant to funding Bitcoin purchases or servicing the company's dividend and interest obligations. Saylor has said a while ago that they owe $2 million a day. And I don't know if that was every day or every business day in obligations for interest, dividend payments, accruals for people that convert equity to debt. So in other words, they have to push out $2 million in cash every day to their various schemes that they have. And if they're generating $175 million in positive cash flow, that covers a large part of that, just from operations, and which means in order to service all of the various financial products that they have, they would just need to sell you know, just a little bit more debt in the company, or you just peel off a few Bitcoin there and sell it, and they would have enough money forever. If the Bitcoin price is going down, they could slow. Yeah, I didn't say that right. They wouldn't have money forever. They would have enough cash to pay their dividends for as long as they needed to. If the price of Bitcoin goes up a lot, then they have infinite money, essentially. Adding insult to injury in Strategy's own earnings deck, roughly 90% of slides are devoted to the Bitcoin treasury, while only 2 or 3 even mention the legacy software business, and none frame it as a driver of growth or capital allocation. Strategy is the largest corporate Bitcoin holder in the world by a factor of 12. The company owns more than 650,000 Bitcoin. I thought Robinhood and Binance had big things like that. All right, well, that's enough about Saylor. That's called the plenty of money model, right? Early in the show, Connect Me One says, whoop, go silver. Look at silver. Pull up any silver chart here. Now silver hit $92. I mean, that's crazy. That's just crazy. That's absolutely nuts. Let's look at the bigger chart here. Look at the daily chart. This is, ladies and gentlemen, this is a precious metals chart here. Oh, Lord. All right, everybody. I have no idea when the stream stopped working. Looks like my internet connection burped. When? All right, looks like I lost about 10 minutes of the show here. Looks like I lost my silver review and my gold review. No idea why the internet stopped broadcasting there, and I had the show placeholder. No idea. Well, that sucks. I just wonder, I did a pretty good silver and gold review. Let me see if I can figure out exactly where I left off. Yeah, it's right at the beginning of the silver review. Well, let's do that again then. Sigh. How do you know you have a professional show? You don't! Oh, hell. All right, as I was saying, gold futures here pushing 4,600 bucks. A couple of weeks ago, back here in November, we were at 3,900, and somebody was telling Pedro and I it's going to go to 5,000. And I was like, no, it's not going to go to 5,000, because the amount of money that takes in gold is a tremendous amount of money, because the market cap is so much larger than Bitcoin. For gold to go up, $1,000, it requires a couple of $1 trillion in buys. Well, it's on its way to 5,000. I'm guessing governments, I'm guessing corporations are buying. The retail group is buying. Everybody's buying gold. But the money certainly doesn't come from the retail group in gold, because most retail traders have no idea how to buy gold. And even if the ones that do know how to buy gold do and buy a lot of it, it's still not that, say you get, 500,000 gold traders, or retail people like me, all buying a little bit of gold. It's still not much money. You need trillions of dollars to really move it. That means big markets, big institutions, governments, that type of stuff. And apparently that's what's happening. That is what's happening. We have new highs in gold. Obvious retracements. Some of the quicker ones would be here at 42,000. There are other ones. Let's see. Well, the other ones would be here, 41,000. It busts through that. Let's do a quick Fibonacci here on this latest run up. See where our retracement would be. 786 retracement would bring it right down to right in this level, 4,500, right in there. It says it wants a 786. I think the golden pocket is right at 42, right? 4,100, 42 even. So those are likely areas for it to retrace to. So before you start putting your money into gold, wait for a pullback. Obviously, you may not get a pullback, right? Might just keep going to the moon, but you can't risk that. You don't want to be exit liquidity. If you chase the green candles, you're going to be the exit liquidity. All right, where did those go? I think this computer just needs a good old-fashioned reboot. That's what I think. But anyway, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, gotta take off early today. Let's look at Bitcoin again. Pulling back here a little bit here, as expected. Got a little far away from the... Oh, why is my computer running so slow? What is this news article here ahead? Oh, another wrench. I always love to talk about wrench attacks. Another one happened in France. France is the home of the wrench attacks. Cryptocurrency executive and his family were beaten and bound during a Friday home invasion. And I'm not going to pronounce that. It's the latest such $5 wrench attack targeting wealthy crypto holders in the country. The attack came just a day after another crypto investor was kidnapped from his home near Cholet and assaulted and dumped 50 kilometers away. Armed assailants stormed a family home on Friday evening, launching a brutal attack on a crypto investment executive and his family, was become the latest wrench attack to rock France's crypto community. 3 gunmen forced their way into their residence around nighttime, beating both parents before restraining the couple and their 2 children with cable ties. Family managed to break free and sought refuge with neighbors while the attackers fled towards a nearby train station. They'll catch them. The violent home invasion caps a week of rising crypto-related crime across France, highlighting a disturbing pattern which has established the country as a European epicenter for wrench attacks. One day before the attack, kidnappers abducted a 43-year-old man from his residence during the early morning hours of Friday. The victim was bound, beaten, and later abandoned roughly 50 kilometers from his home before being hospitalized. Investigators confirmed the attackers were after the victim's crypto, after his family had already faced multiple attempted break-ins over the Christmas holidays. France has experienced one of the most visible waves of crypto. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is another reason why when your government says we're going to take your firearms, we can't trust you. You guys can't have firearms. All you're going to do is go shoot up schools and commit suicide and do all that type of stuff. This is what you get. This is what you get. You get crime in which people can't defend themselves. Now, people in France are still allowed to own shotguns and things like that, but they have to keep them locked up. It's not maybe out quite in the rural areas. People leave their shotguns over their mantle and stuff. But in cities, it's been like everywhere else in the modern world, in which the governments are getting progressively more liberal, and they're saying, "Oh, you can't have guns. Only the police can have guns." And then you have this shit. Notice how these types of crimes happen less in the United States. Why is that? Because everyone in crypto in the United States owns a firearm. And if you break into our house, we're going to shoot you. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. Even up here in Canada, we had Dean, the CEO of WonderFi, Dean Skulka, get kidnapped. In Chicago, allowed to carry a firearm walking around. Toronto, not. People just walked right up to him, said, "Get in the van," and they took him for millions of dollars. If you're going to be a progressive liberal, you're going to have to give up on the not allowing us to defend ourselves. Because telling people they can't defend themselves or can't defend their family is a total non-starter. It's just a non-starter. And when you tell people that, it means you're a fucking retard. Pardon my French. Just pardon my French. It's just you can't tell people that they're not allowed to protect their family. The police are just not there to protect you. They are designed to be minutes away when seconds count. So you guys in Australia, you guys in Canada, you can take all your fucking firearms laws and get the fuck out. This is what happens. And when you lose now these people, you don't get your family fortune back in crypto when they steal it. You just don't get it back. Drives me nuts. Drives me absolutely nuts. Oh, you pussies, you can't have firearms. No, you might hurt someone. In the US, they're trying to ban them because all the trannies are running around shooting people because they're all mental health cases. And somehow they steal their dad's firearms or their mom's firearms, and then they go shoot up people. And is that the firearms problem or is that the mental health problem? It's a mental health problem. Oh, I wasn't planning on going there today, but I did. Let's check the comments here before I wind this up. See if they got more ads to read here. Actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to find someone to raid. We need to do a raid. Oh, the mayor of Minneapolis is on Fox. Mayor of Minneapolis is a complete idiot. Just a complete idiot. And he's a pompous asshole, too. He's the worst liberal Democrat that you could have. Not only is he an asshole, he's a complete asshole. And he thinks his city's literally burning to the ground. They have the worst policies that do exactly the opposite what they want to accomplish. And he's pompous, and he just thinks he's God's gift to the liberal democracy. And all they do is make the wrong choices. And they defend the indefensible. They defend criminals. They say things like, don't support law enforcement. Don't support law enforcement and defend the criminals. What kind of mayor is that? What kind of elected official is that? All right, who's live here today?
Every $3.46 we double our money.
All right, we're gonna raid Money Life.
So we have an excellent position, and this could really go somewhere. However, the long-term wave count isn't really there, you know what I mean? That's the only thing. So let's flip over to Clean Spark. A little bit better of a wave count going on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to switch the show here.
Currently, it looks like a buildup of a 1-2-1-2, which, get in now, this thing could be a 10x'er.
I don't know if you can hear the channel I'm going to...
And Wolf is a little bit more.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I got for you today. Thanks for putting up with the show. Thanks for putting up with the difficulties earlier. I have no idea why the stream stopped. No idea at all. Probably my computer just got too many CPU cycles going and it said, no mas, that's it. Anyway, we're going to do a raid here. We're going to do a raid of this other guy's channel, Money and Crypto. Money Life Advice. Oh, I hate when Windows does that. Does anyone want it to do that auto rearranging thing? No, nobody wants it. Anyway, so if you're watching, stick with it, join the raid, and when you get there, say Striking from DYOR Media sent you on the raid. So everyone, have a great day. We will see you, Pedro and I will see you tomorrow, right? Is that right? That's right. So let's do it. Raid. Raid. Raid coming. See ya.